What's good, y'all? We getting back to it with our review on The Devil Wears Prada 2. And I'm here with our producer, Tyler. How you doing, man?
What up? I'm doing good, man.
Hey, you chilling?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
I know you've been looking forward to this movie, man, but
yeah.
low-key, after I watched it for the first time, I was kind of looking forward to seeing what they do with this one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are your initial thoughts, or what's your experience with The Devil Wears Prada?
It's been a staple comedy for years for me, so I really enjoyed it, watching clips. I mean, it's like... it's kind of like, like listening to like the album Thriller, it's like, there's just like, it has like a collection of scenes that are just like, you can just revisit them all on their own and just, it's a really fun vibe. So I really liked it. The marketing around this was pretty fun too. There was like a pop-up in LA where you could get like a free like Runway magazine, had Emily Blunt on the covers, like a full spread, like a legit publication. And then, then I got to see the Walk of Fame ceremony for Emily Blunt and Stanley Tucci, which is, in promotion for the movie. So that was really fun. Being able to have them walk by was really cool. I mean, I got Meryl Streep waving at me for half a second, and I'm going to treasure that forever. Yeah, I like the marketing rollout. It's a party. It's a vibe.
Now, I know in the past, I know we talked about it before, and you and I both have a differing opinion of the first movie. I know I'm a little bit more like, I didn't like it fully, and then you were more like, this movie's good.
Yeah.
What about it, because I pretty much already have an idea with like a lot of other people I talk to about why they love it, but what do you love or like about the first movie so much?
I think it's smartly written. I think, for example, the very famous cerulean sweater speech scene. Like, what I really like about like that scene, for example, is like, I think we tend to think of ourselves exempt from different ecosystems around us, especially, like fashion, for example. We think we're making choices for ourselves and our taste, and even our taste in music and movies and things that we like. And really, it's like a trickle down of like of like what trendsetters are deciding for you. And it's not it's as much as autonomous as we want to believe we all are. It's like it's like, how many influencers are you following on Instagram, and how many of them are actually shaping what you think about things?
That's true.
And so it's a really smart and clever movie. I think that's why I appreciate it, and they do it they deliver in a very fun package, and it's got great performances. Meryl Streep should have won a third Oscar for that, but she was also going up against Helen Mirren for The Queen. Understandable, really. It's a movie that I think has a very much lightning in the bottle. That's very hard to replicate, and it's a movie that's very of its moment and has been able to stand the test of time, I think.
Okay. All right.
At least for me.
No, I get that. I think the only one with me, and this is probably the like, I'm not gonna say dumbest take on it. It's just how rude people were in the movie really gets to me.
Yeah.
That's just a testament to how good of like actors Emily Blunt and Meryl Streep are. Yeah. Because I hated them in the first movie.
Yeah.
I was just like, could y'all be nice for like 1 second? For like one stinking second. And Anne Hathaway, loved her character, Andy. It was just, I was getting very annoyed with how rude everybody was. And then I think that was mainly the whole point. And then I guess towards the end was where I was like, I feel like Andy learned the lesson here, but I don't think the other two really did. I think they liked her more, a little bit more than what it started as. But even after, when they got off the call, well, when she got off the call with Emily, that's so funny, Emily Blunt, Emily. And then when she got off the call with her, there was a sweet moment where it's like, I'd love to take your clothes, like have to get it resized or something, but I'll take them. And then she smiled for a sec, but then she was still rude to the next sister that was there, and I was like, I don't know if we learned something here. And then Meryl Streep's character, we saw her smile, like act all tough, like when she sees her at the car, and then Andy waves at her, and she's like, who are you, or whatever, and it just gets in the car. But she smiles, and it's like, okay, we learned something. Then she rude to the driver again. But then the more I'm like thinking about it now, obviously there was something learned. Yeah. But to me, at first watching it, it didn't seem like it for me. I watched it twice. Watched it twice for y'all to know, because I gave it a chance again. Watched it twice and I realized that. But that was the thing that was bugging me this whole time. I was like, did they really learn anything? Like, I know Andy's character did. I loved Andy's character, but did they learn anything? So now, and I'm going into The Devil Wears Prada 2. We flash over, and I'm not giving spoilers yet. We flash over to The Devil Wears Prada 2. I'm in that theater. I'm thinking, I hope this, is better than the first one. I'm going to say I like this more than the first one. I'm going to say personally I did. I was really impressed with a lot of the shots, a lot of the clothes. I'm not too in the fashion. Like, I'm over here in the stinking hat and the t-shirt. Like, I don't know too much. But I was very impressed with a lot of what was being shown, a lot of the office areas, how busy it looked, a lot of the clothes they just came out with out of the blue. And I think what helped too was my audience, because there was a lot of like, I walked in, there were a lot of more mature, older people, but there were some teens in there as well. And the coolest thing, almost bugged me for a sec, but I don't care. I got a seat, and I get it always in advance a little bit more. Like, I get my seat, and I'm there, and nobody was sitting next to me when I checked. Today, I saw that there were 2 people sitting next to me. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm walking up the steps because I'm 10 minutes late. And there was this woman, or these 2 probably best friends, and they were a little stylish, styled out. Like, she had like heels. She had it on my seat though, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm sitting over here. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Very nice though. She was very nice, but she had like a real nice jacket. She had real nice heels. She had her food, popcorn, everything. But even she had a blanket that looked pretty nice, and her outfit was pretty cool. And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna probably listen in whenever like certain, like if a purse shows up, if a jacket shows up, and I'm gonna think like me, I have my own taste. Like I'll like it, but then like I'll make sure how does everybody else feel about it. Whenever certain things showed up, they were like, oh my gosh, and they like gossip about it, be like, that looks so nice. And I'm like, okay, so my taste ain't bad. That's nice. But that was a lot of the movie, and I was very impressed with that. But the story was also what I was really liking. Like, I really liked Miranda a bit more. And obviously, I liked Emily, which is what I was, like, fully focused on to me. I was like, I don't care. I know Andy's going to be cool. I know Stanley Tucci's character, I forgot his name. Nigel. I like Nigel, so I know he's going to be cool. I really want to just like Miranda and Emily. And that movie accomplished it to me. And I liked it. I liked it more than the first one. But Tyler, I want to hear your thoughts on it because, you know, once again, I'm not the biggest fan of The Devil Wears Prada, but I understand the fandom. So I want to hear from you and get your thoughts on The Devil Wears Prada 2. I
like that. I mean, I like the original more. I'd say like I have more kind of like Freaky Friday and Freaky Friday 2, like where it's close, but you know the other one's legendary. So yeah, so that's how I feel. But I enjoyed it. I really loved the Italy stuff a bit more. I think that's when like a lot of like the filmmaking and stuff like came more into focus. I think a lot of the fashions were really good. I think my favorite Meryl look is probably going to be the thumbnail on this. I liked how like the first one was kind of like it was almost like the fantasy of being in the environment of publishing and fashion. And this one was like, okay, this took a much more, I think, like kind of grounded in where we are now in the mid 2020s with publications and how everything's getting like bought out, you know, all these tech conglomerates are like, you know, buying up things, and how we have to answer sadly to algorithms rather than like you know
oh yeah
you know, I like that they weren't like playing coy about that, and like this is disrupting, and like, you know, questions about artistic integrity. And I think a couple of my favorite moments is like when Andy, like when she's like when Meryl's like coming like by her office, and she's like, like I've been like publishing like all these like hard-hitting articles that like, you know, that it's like real journalism, and Meryl's like, but like we're not getting enough clicks. If we're not getting clicks, we're not getting paid. Like, and then, you know, and then like when they're later in Italy, they get more into that kind of discussion with, you know, and I like that they were willing to do something more with the sequel and like actually address what's happening in the world right now.
Oh yeah, like be with the times, especially with the focus on going from printing magazines to posting articles online and everything, and how that's more of the focus, which is what I thought was really cool, and why I thought it was cool that they brought Andy back. For a second at the start, I was a little bit like, how is this gonna work? Because, you know, you had her accepting the award at the beginning of the movie, and then you find out that her whole staff or whatever got fired, and then you're like, so she's looking for a job, but how is she getting back in the runway? Because I didn't see the second trailer. I only saw like the teaser that came out, so I didn't know, and I'm glad I didn't, because I wanted to know exactly what was going on in the movie. But I was very impressed where they were just like, oh no, she can write her articles. She can come in and like fix up like everything, make it a little bit more spicier. And I was like, all right, okay, that seems super believable. I like this. But I think at the start it was getting a little rocky for a sec, because I wasn't really feeling how like it was flowing for a sec. It felt a little bit more unrealistic for a second, especially when they met finally for the first time again, and I was kind of like, I don't know. But then I got way more into it when it slowly became her trying to figure out what type of articles to put out, her trying to get that interview with the person that nobody's seen or talked to in, what did they say, 5 years, a decade?
I think it's like 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
3 years.
But still a while.
Yeah, but I was getting really into that when they were just trying to figure out what their niche is, like what exactly like their style should be when they're posting articles. And then the story finally goes when you're trying to when you hear about Miranda, I'm getting a promotion. Yeah. I'm gonna be senior. I forgot what the title was, but senior digital.
Yeah, she's
advisor.
She's basically gonna be in charge of like all the publications under Elias Clark.
Yeah, and then right when I was hearing all that, I was kind of like, I feel like something isn't gonna go right because it's sounding too good to be true. They in the Hamptons. Karl Anthony Towns is there for some stinking reason out of all the NBA players. Shame on you guys. It should have been Russell Westbrook. I'm playing. I love it, but then a thing happens and you're just like, oh. And I instantly got into it because I was like, and I know the son is different. If you guys don't know, spoiler alert, Irv dies and his son takes over. And his son, he didn't exactly do what I thought he was going to do, which I love, by the way. I love that choice. He was more of a guy where he's like, I'm trying to get with the times. I'm trying to actually like wipe out everything that seems like it's unnecessary. But the biggest thing was the situation with who's going to own Runway, and I was like, oh, this is very interesting. Like I was low-key actually feeling for Miranda because I was like, I don't know, man, whoever's gonna buy it, I don't think they're gonna do a good job, and what she does is really good. I remember that first movie. I don't think y'all should take her out of it, but I was really impressed with that. That's one of the reasons why I was really into the movie too. Like, once again, it's a very pretty, like very well shot movie, but I was very impressed with the story it was giving me. Like, I really thought it wasn't going to be all that, but I was impressed. What did you think about the story of who's going to own Runway?
I thought, again, like, it's one of those very, like, timely kind of things. A couple months ago, we were, like, all scrambling about, like, who's going to buy Warner Brothers, you know? It's like, is it going to be Paramount? Is it going to be Netflix? Universal? Like, should you throw yourself in the ring for this? That would have been my wish, but those prayers were not heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it's like, it's reflecting the unfortunate reality that we live in right now. I will say, I think they did, you know, in this case, they did end up with their Universal situation.
I don't know. I was just really impressed. Like, I was very impressed, and I liked it. And I don't know. When it ended, I was really thinking, I think they could do a third one. I feel like there could be a third one that could go well with this. My thing was, I don't know exactly what the issue would be. Because one thing I was thinking for a second was, maybe the three are having trouble in their 3 different departments and they're just colliding, keep bashing heads, and they can't really form the best unity for Runway going forward. But I'm like, that wouldn't really make sense, and I don't know if I want to see that, because I feel like that would just be a problem from the last 2 movies. So there was that. There was the whole, like, oh, another buyer comes in and is trying to buy them off, or another competitor. But I'm like, I don't really know if they've been this good for that long. I don't think anybody would really come into that. It's been 20 years. They were good on top then. They're still on top 20 years after. So I don't know. I guess I'm wondering what you would do as a sequel.
Yeah, plot-wise, I don't really know. I just know that Nigel desperately needs a Negroni, a promotion, and a boyfriend. Man deserves a lot. Which I will say, I'm glad that they gave the characters flowers. You know, where he got the opportunity to make that speech. You know, because Miranda's like miffed him a lot of times. It's like,
big time.
She's like, all right, and she's like, actually, I think that's like one thing I was like kind of like impressed too. Is like she has that moment of realization of like, oh my god, like wait, after all these years, like he actually wants to like do more. It's like, who would have thought, Miranda? Yeah.
I actually really did love that scene.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I wish we actually got to see the speech, though. That would have been great.
Oh, man.
But
that was awesome. Like, I literally, right when Andy asked her, or what did Andy say? Because she said something and then Miranda realized something. Did Miranda realize it by herself? She was like, have I been using you?
Yeah.
Or have I been taking advantage of you? And I was like, oh.
Yeah. She
learning. And I was like, oh my gosh. That's one of the scenes where I was like, yep, this movie, 1000% like it. 1000% respect it. I was just like, I like you now. Yeah. I like Miranda. Because you know, I know people can get so involved with their work where it's like, you know, you get so like locked in on like continuing the it's like the continuing the consistency on and being able to do the same thing over and over again, but you forget about different people and you forget about like how it's affecting others. But I love how she realized like, yo, like you've been here since like day one helping me with this. And I just want to know, like, have I been using you? Have I been taking advantage of you? And I mean, shout out to Nigel just being like, nah, you haven't. I was like, bro, you should have just said it then. But I'm just glad that she asked him to do the speech. I'm very glad. But I just wanted to shout that out because I did hate Miranda in that first one. But now I see that she got a little humanity in her. I see that.
Yeah.
Did we have any other thoughts or did you have any other questions? Because I'm pretty much chilling. I'm
trying to think if there's anything else I want to shout out about. Justin Theroux as the kind of dopey billionaire, Emily's boyfriend. He was pretty fun to watch. I loved that Last Supper scene, or like when they're touring it, right at first. Look, anytime that you're gonna like bring art to like bring in like an actual like painting or something as like a thematic element, bravo. And to use Last Supper for that, I thought was really cool. And Meryl just being like, I know you're my Judas, Anne. I know you're my Judas.
That was so funny.
You know?
I was like, right when she looked at into the Last Supper, I was like, oh, she gonna bring up Judas.
Yeah, great Easter egg too, because like she might be Aslan. We don't know yet, but she might be Aslan. So like you got Meryl, voice of Jesus, right there.
They got to do it. Man. They have to.
But anyways, but yeah, I really liked that scene. I really liked. Yeah, I don't know. I liked it was a legacy sequel that wasn't just trying to play the greatest hits. They're like, if we're gonna come back, and say something that's important. We're gonna reflect what's going on in the world and be there in that moment. And they didn't waste that opportunity. I was happy to revisit these characters. It was an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be literally what you said with the whole legacy movie thing at the start, but it turned into something really good and worth the money and worth the attention. Obviously, it's The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah,
like I don't hate it. It's just it was very impressive.
Yeah, it's a great cast. Look forward to seeing them in. Yeah, I looked forward to seeing them all together in this. If they, and if they want to make a third, I am not going to object to it. Like, they're a good hang for 2 hours, so.
I think they should make a third.
They should.
I think they should.
They should.
And I'll be there. We'll both be there.
Yes.
But, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
I'm sure there is, but it's not coming to mind, so.
Hey, no problem at all.